American Financing, saving homeowners over $800 every month by using your home's equity to pay off high-interest debt. American Financing, America's home for home loans. AmericanFinancing.net/progress.
Hi, this is Chris from the Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from Political Voices Network.
A beloved figure among Democrats for many, many years. Do you, if you know who he will be supporting or who he will be voting for, do you care to share with us who he might be voting for?
Dick Cheney will be voting for Kamala Harris.
Okay.
Hell is frozen over.
Hell has frozen over. Listen, poor thing.
Words I never expected to hear.
No kidding. It is 7 minutes after the hour. I'm Jody Hamilton with Chris Lavoie, sitting in for Ms. Miller, who had an amazing show, I assume, up in Oregon.
Yes.
She will be here tomorrow, so we're holding down the fort. We have Charlie Pierce. I know it's weird. Rude Pundit will be on tomorrow.
Yes.
I asked that I could talk to Charlie.
Yeah.
So Stephanie was fine with me switching the two out today. Plus, we have Jen Kirkman and Justin Root in studio in hour number 3.
Wow, okay.
I know, it's a big day.
Yeah.
I'll just let them talk.
Okay.
Because it's been tiring. It's been a hot weekend here in Los Angeles.
Yes.
I went to bed on Friday at 4 p.m. It was 112 at my house at that time.
Okay.
Just thankful that our air conditioning worked.
Good.
People lost power in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
So lucky. We only lost it for enough for one of the clocks to just kind of go off.
Okay.
Other than that, I was very lucky because it happened while I was asleep.
Right.
That it did not completely break down.
Okay.
So, yay, power.
Hey.
Yay, air conditioning.
Yes.
And yay, the Cheneys.
I kind of unexpected. I mean, it was expected, though.
We're just waiting for W to do it, and he's not going to.
He's not going to.
He's not.
Yeah, his office announced that he has gotten out of politics and is not going to be making any
statements. No, all right. Yeah. But his people around him are doing all of that, so I think that it's a tacit endorsement on his part. I mean, his VP.
Well, sure, but his VP is his own person.
True.
So, yeah.
But I mean, you know.
Yeah, but
I think it's a tacit endorsement.
George W. Bush is not going to endorse anybody.
No, that's on him. That's fine. Warmonger. So is his vice president. Mm-hmm. And we know that the daughter will sting us at some point.
Yes. Don't pull her too close.
No. Our little velociraptor is that person that will definitely hurt us when we least expect it.
Exactly.
But
she will sting us as we're carrying her across the
pond, as the frogs are carrying her across the pond. No, I mean, I'm glad that they're doing that because it is a stand, and it's about time that has been taken, and I hope that more come forward, like Mike Pence. Hi.
He's not going to.
No, I know he won't. No. He's too much of a chicken. Yeah. I'll just use that word.
He's a puss.
There you go. He's a kitty, and not a nice one. No. And stupid for ever supporting that man in the first place. But so we also had another shooting in Kentucky over the weekend. Mm-hmm. Multiple people were shot on I-75, apparently. Yeah. It's the guns. I went on a rant over the weekend about this because I just I'm upset about the kid that murdered 4 people. Mm-hmm. I'm upset that everybody around him failed him and then therefore failed 4 other families.
About the Georgia one.
Yes, the Georgia kid.
Okay.
I'm upset that people around him failed him and therefore failed 4 families who are grieving deaths and 9 other families that are dealing with their injuries. Yeah. And it got me mad, and I'm still mad. Yep. And it's the guns, people. It's the guns. And people like Donald Trump and others saying, oh, the Second Amendment this, the Second Amendment that. Like Stephanie has said, and like I have said, and like you have said, we have a right to not be afraid to leave our homes for fear of being shot.
Right.
Like these people were just driving.
That is the pursuit of happiness.
Yes, it is. I mean, people were just driving on the freeway and got shot at. Yeah. They weren't. It's the guns, and it's mass. These mass shootings are a daily thing. 4 people or more are shot at pretty much every day, and that's considered a mass shooting.
Right.
I don't know why 3 isn't, but that's the definition is 4 or more.
Right.
And it's just, I am with Angela V. Shelton, Stephanie Miller, and many others that I am a gun grabber. I'll take them. I'll take them all. We don't have, it's not a regulated militia, people. This is not what this is. And the fact that the AR-15 is the most popular gun in the country, which is not for hunting. It's not. If you want to shoot an AR-15, go to a gun range, rent the gun, and have at it at cans or whatever. Great. Do that. But you don't have to own one. There's literally no reason for any citizen in this country to own a weapon of war because it's cool. And the fact that we've got people on the House floor wearing pins that represent that, along with their crosses, mind you.
Yeah.
How Christian are they?
Because Jesus was all for murder.
Yes, definitely. Especially murdering of humans.
Yeah.
There are words that I have that I'm not allowed to say because of an FCC license that the lady doesn't want to use. So I cannot be the spicy Jody that I am on the Bob Seska show on this show because, well, we want to keep
When
the show.
can we hear a spicy Jody?
On Thursdays on the Bob Seska show.
There you go.
On the
Sexy Liberal
Thank
Podcast
you
Network.
very much. Sexy Liberal Podcast Network. I know things. It's been a tiring weekend because it's been so hot. I've hardly gotten any sleep. Anyway, it bothers me that people in positions of power are unable or unwilling to do the right thing when 90% of us want background checks. 90% of us want AR-15s off the streets. We used to have an assault weapons ban. It worked. Mass shootings went way down until that expired in 2005? Is that when it
Something like
expired?
that.
Something like that. And Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have got some good gun legislation passed in spite of the Republicans. So that's good. But we still need to get assault weapons gone. I mean, the Brady Bill. Come on, people. We've done this before. It's not that hard. We do not need these weapons. They are not for hunting. Because if you need that to hunt, then you're not a really good hunter.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Who wants a liquefied deer?
Thank you very much. Because that's what those things do.
They liquefy.
Exactly. To see, and I think if victims' families want to start showing what happens to these bodies, I don't want to see it, but I would appreciate it. Like Medgar Evers' mom and
Some families have given the okay, and I'm more than okay with that.
Same here.
If the family is okay with showing the carnage that is that comes from a mass shooting, absolutely.
Yeah,
do
and
it.
I've said it publicly, and I'll say it again. Were I to be murdered in the same way, I would want my mom and Lonnie and anybody else in my family to show my body so that people out there understand what this stuff does to a human, to anybody. And the fact of the matter is, this is a weapon of war. We're not at war with each other. At least we're not supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know, we're so not supposed to be. And it's just, okay, I'm going to stop ranting. I know it's talk radio. I'm
No, that's
supposed
what
to
you do,
rant.
yeah.
It's, it's kind of the job.
Yeah.
But yeah, the father, thankfully, has been charged with second-degree murder.
Yep.
And I'm with that because he failed his son by buying him a gun after the FBI said, hey, something's wrong with your kid.
Yeah.
And then at Christmas time, hey, let's give him a gun. And he, not too many months later, murdered 4 people and injured another 9 people.
Yep.
And, okay. All right. And law enforcement also let this kid down.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Big time. Big time. And the fact, can we play 8?
8. Okay.
Because Speaker Johnson just loves guns.
This
apparently.
happens with almost every shooting incident. The immediate call by the left in this country, we need more gun laws, we need more legislation. What's your answer to that?
At the end of the day, the problem is the human heart. It's not guns,
No.
it's not the weapons.
No.
At the end of the day, we have to protect the right of the citizens to protect themselves, and that's the Second Amendment. And that's why our party stands so strongly for that. I agree with the comments of your guests there. This is not the time to be talking about legislation. We're in the middle of that crisis right now. But I just want you to know, and I want the American people to know, that all the members of the House here are deeply concerned about the families involved and everyone. And we pray for the law enforcement officers that are doing that hard job tonight that most people do not have the bravery to do.
You talk about
Okay. Law enforcement also wants these weapons off the streets, mind you. They were terrified at Uvalde because one person had one gun And there were how many hundreds of cops there that day. And they were terrified, and they were armed and trained to do that thing. And they were terrified. So again, people, it really just, for Speaker Johnson to say, it's not for, we also say this too, to protect yourself in your home. I've always loved this. Well, the bullets are over there, the gun's over there, and it's in a lockbox. But it's for my safety. So in case somebody breaks in, so you got to go into one room to get the bullets, or in one drawer to get the bullets, and you got to go in another place to get the gun. So how is that helping you be safe? And your gun usually is used against you, mind you. People with guns in their homes, if there is a problem, most likely that said gun will be used on them and not on the bad guy.
Right.
So I've always like, oh, my bullets are up there. It's like, well, then how is that protecting you? If it's not loaded and next to you at all times, it's not going to protect you.
Right.
I mean, you have to, that whole protection thing makes no sense to me. Like Johnson said, oh, we need it for protection. No.
Yeah. You don't need an assault rifle.
You don't need most guns for that matter. And if you're using it for hunting, most, like Lonnie grew up in a family that hunted. So they had guns in a gun cabinet, and it was locked. And he was taught when he was, I think, 11 or 12 years old, how to properly use a shotgun to go hunting. He doesn't do that anymore, thankfully. But that's the thing. And he goes, I would never have thought to take a gun and shoot somebody at my school. I'm like, well, you were not failed by your family or those around you either. The fact that this kid was bought an AR-15 for Christmas, last Christmas, mind you. As a gift. So I'm really, really glad. And he and his father did not plead when they were arraigned the other day. They did not enter any pleas one way or the other. They're both, I believe, incarcerated at the moment. The father, though, I looked at his face. He is regretful, but I only think it's for him and not for what his son did. I think he's regretful that he's gotten busted for it.
Right.
I don't think he cares one way or the other. And the mother came out over the weekend, and she's a mess. And she came out happy that her ex-husband, I guess, is being incarcerated as well. But anyway, it just is so, it gets right here. It hurts my heart that this happens constantly in this country, and there are ways to stop it. And the powers that be, like Speaker Johnson and others of his ilk, refuse to even think about it because of the gun lobby.
Right.
I mean, the NRA used to be about responsible gun ownership and for background checks and all that. They are no longer that. They only want to sell guns. They want teachers to have guns. They want everybody to have a gun because it makes money.
Today, we're taking a break to explore Labor Day. What's the history behind this holiday and why do we celebrate it? Let's unpack the origins and meaning of Labor Day and see how it reflects the contributions of workers across the nation.